Hey YouTube, it's Grace, and this week we are continuing the Minecraft painting series and moving on to painting 5 out of 20. It's kind of funny that I'm already like 25% of the way done with the new ones, considering that they were just announced a few weeks ago, but I'm glad to be making fast progress. If you didn't know, I have tutorials or guides available on my Etsy shop here if you would like to follow along and try to make these paintings for yourself. Obviously no pressure to ever buy anything from me, but if you would like to try and make it for yourself and you need something that's a little bit more detailed and in-depth compared to this video, then those are there for you. But anyway, let's get into this video. This is the next design I'll be painting, which is 32 by 32 pixels, and this is the canvas I'll be making it on, which is 18 by 18 inches. Now to find the size of each pixel, I did 18 inches divided by 32 pixels and got 0.56, so each pixel is going to be a little over half an inch. So I'm just going to go ahead and make little marks around all 4 sides of the canvas and then use my ruler, or maybe this one, depending on if this one's long enough, to connect all those lines and make the grid. I just finished marking all the lines out, so the grid is done, and the next step is adding a coat of this clear primer to seal in the pencil and keep it from smearing or turning the paints gray or turning my hand gray, because I don't want any of those to happen. Next, I'll be doing the border, and when I zoom in, I can see it's kind of a similar dark brown to the other paintings, so I'm just going to go ahead and use this brown color. Here's my stopping point for day 1, because this just needs some time to dry, but once I got some more free time, I will come back and start on the design. I decided to take a day off, but I'm back, everything is totally dry, and I'm ready to keep painting, and I think I'm going to start by doing the dark browns that kind of outline their brow bone and nose. And then also I noticed like this next brown kind of lines up with this, so I'm gonna fill in a little bit of the background of the house as well. And the way that I figure out where each pixel goes is I zoom in, I start in the bottom corner and count over and up. In this case it was 11 pixels over, 9 pixels up. And then where my mouse is, that's like where I'm starting. And then I count those same pixels on the reference and then make a little dot where the paint is. And then I can like use this as my future reference and fill everything around like relative to this. Moving on to the third shade of brown, I'm just gradually making them lighter to account for like the blending that's going on here. Okay, I'm already getting bored of this, so I'm gonna move on and do the purple, which I think I used this shade during the sunflower and cake painting I made, but I'm going to use it. I just add some white and I'm gonna use it for the clothes? The villager clothes? I don't know. Here's how it's looking with a couple of the shades of purple done. I also got bored of this, so now we're moving on to the eyes. I just did a couple of light gray pixels, and then next I'm gonna do white and a few different shades of green. Here's an update of how it's looking so far. I feel like I need to take a break because I can't really rest my hand anywhere without touching wet paint, but this is it compared to the reference, so I'm gonna wait for this to dry and then come back and do more. Well, I ended up taking a couple days off because life is extremely busy, but I'm back and I think I'm going to try and finish their skin tones today. I'm completely out of empty containers just about, so I think I'm gonna have to mix the colors on a plate and then freeze them to keep them from drying out. For those who don't know, I actually just graduated college very recently, and I actually just started a new job like a week-ish ago, and it's only part-time, but I feel like whenever I start anything new, it's just so draining, and finding the time to like paint and do social media around all of that has just been a little bit difficult. So I'm hoping this doesn't slow down my progress with the series too much, but if it does slow down, just know I am doing my absolute best. Here's an update with how the villagers are looking. I think they are looking pretty good. I'm going to move on to adding more shades of purple in their clothing. Here is an update. So far in this session, I've spent about an hour painting. I think I'm going to take a break, but we'll see if I can come back and do more tonight. I finished the purples in their clothes and then I went ahead and turned the canvas upside down. You can see I'm working on the grays now, and a lot of the very top of the canvas is gray, so I'm just going to go ahead and fill that in. Now that the grays and the really light gray in the left and right corner are done, all that's left is what looks like their roof of their houses. So I'm starting by mixing this brown, which is my darkest one, which I used this paint, and this. For color number 2, I just took the first one and added some light coral. For color number 3, I took color number 2 and added some light coral, dark titanium white, and a tiny bit of yellow. And for this last color, I took the third color and added a little bit of yellow and white. And here's how it looks with the first coat completed. If you compare it to the reference, you'll see there's a few things that I'm going to adjust with the second coat. Like, I'm going to blend out these background colors a lot. I'm probably going to adjust some of the browns here. I'll also probably adjust these two and make them just a little bit more tan instead of purple, but otherwise things are going to stay pretty similar. Just for the second coat, I'll be focusing on cleaning up the lines and making the paint more opaque. Here is how the second coat turned out done. You can see I adjusted a couple colors a little bit, but overall it's just cleaning up the lines, making the paint more thick. I'm liking how it's looking so far, but it definitely needs some detailing, especially up towards the top, so that is my next step. The last step for this painting is details, and if you've seen any of my painting videos before, you'll know that what I like to do is create transition colors. So for example, up here, mixing the white and the light gray. So I did that here. I got this other light gray color, and I'll just do this with a bunch of different colors around the painting, definitely in here some too, just to blend everything out and make it more of a gradient. Here's how it looks after blending the background grays and the ceiling of their little shack. I don't know. You can see it looks a lot more blended, a lot more blurry, honestly, which is what I'm going for. So I'm going to continue doing that with the purples down here next. So I did a couple of purple shades, and now I'm moving on to the more tan shades and also the skin tones. I just mixed this color here, which was kind of a shade in between these two, and then I'm going to mix it out even more with this one to blend it more and get more of a gradient effect. I think this painting is looking a lot more detailed and blended, so I think the last thing I'm going to do is add a little bit of detailing around the border. Here's how the little details around the border turned out. They're pretty subtle, but I just have the canvas sitting on some little paint containers right now so that it can dry without sticking to the paper towel. But once this is all dry, I will show you the grand reveal. And here is the grand reveal. Honestly, this painting is kind of unsettling. I feel like these guys have like some secrets that they need to tell me, but I think the painting itself turned out pretty cool. Here's a close-up shot where you can see all of the different details and blending colors that I added. And here it is from further back so you can see the big picture. And for storage reasons, I just cleared out this section of my little shelf area so I can keep it here right next to the flower one. If you would like to see a higher quality photo of this painting I just completed, or if you would like to check out any of my other art, be sure to check out my Instagram. I'll have it linked in the description. I post tons of art videos and photos on there, and if you're interested in this, maybe you'll like that too. But that just about concludes this video, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll hopefully see you in my next one. Bye!